So it all started probably back in 2004, 2005, when James Hall and I were trying to work out how young sheep and wool business managers would be able to progress their business in the face of price difficulties. So what we did was we wrote effectively a risk management course around the sheep and wool enterprise. It allowed people to draw up their exit strategies that they could implement if things went against them season-wise, and therefore they could run more sheep per hectare. Ed Riddle was employed to help us get the sheep back up and running in the early days. His job was to organise all the meetings, activities and events, and later helped us to run the original Sheep Easy field days. James Hall, most people might not know, he was a consultant long before I was, but he left the industry in 2011. Ashley Herbert is still a private consultant with his own business based in Perth, and Joe Young, who's probably more famous for running Coconut Oils, was actually the glue that held the original thing together with his fantastic presentation skills. Sheep Easy was born sort of around 2011, I think, when we had our first conference in 2012. And the idea is because I believe that the sheep and wool industry in WA needs a conference of some sort where its members can come together and talk about things and learn things. I think we ended up running 7 of those, and we averaged 200 per meeting, and we travelled the whole state. We went from Coaching up in the south up to Badgingarra, Moora, Wickerpin, Katanning. And yeah, it was just the idea that gave people an idea to get together and talk about the practical aspects of running sheep. And the theme is, you're not going to run more sheep if it's hard work. So that's the name Sheep Easy. It's really around that idea. And we always tried to make sure every presentation at least incorporated that theme in some way, shape or form. Yeah, we always had really good feedback. We enjoyed growing the network and touching base with the network in ways that we felt were unique. Very proud to have got to the point where we think we were covering something like 75 to 80% of the total sheep flock in WA through our newsletters and emails and various communications. That alone we think is a pretty significant achievement. I think we should also acknowledge the contribution of Helen Earnshaw. She did such a tremendous job of making sure our network database was accurate, up to date and relevant, and that's why we have such confidence in saying we reckon we covered 75 to 80% of the sheep industry. In 2012, Mark Allington joined our business to help run the activities, and he got involved in Sheep's Back through that network and helped develop his professional skill set. Later on we had Janelle South join us with a particular role on Sheep Easy and Sheep's Back, and more recently you, Renee, joined us to fulfil that same role, which I hope you've enjoyed. I'd like to thank everybody who's been involved in the Sheep's Back. Thoroughly enjoyed working with you. It's been a pleasure and a privilege from our perspective.